Organising. This video is for any parent who struggles with chronic pain or chronic illness, and this is kind of how I have to organise my life around it. So I woke up in the night feeling a stiffness down my side and in my back, and that to me is immediately, it's like, shit, here we go again. For the last, since August last year, I've gone into, it's like a musculoskeletal thing, and my back goes into spasm, and it will go into spasm for about 4 days. Within that 4 days, normally I get about 24 hours where I just cannot move, and it's agonizing. And then it will taper off a bit, but I still have to be careful and I can't do too much. And so when you're a mum on your own with 3 kids, you kind of have to plan your life around it. So this pain would come, I'd get that 4 days, and then I'd get maybe a week of feeling normal. And then it would hit again. And it did this all the way through until late December, maybe January last year. And then it sort of tapered off. I realised that paracetamol, bizarrely enough, of all things, like I've been in chronic pain my entire life, and I've been on pethidine, I've been on diazepam, cocodamol, and any other drug that they could give me, not the hardcore ones, I wouldn't go beyond pethidine, but that was still hardcore. I was about 19 when they gave me that. And I chose this time, I don't want pain relief, I just want to be with the pain so that I can kind of unearth what it is all about. And paracetamol, bizarrely enough, took the edge off it. And it was like, if paracetamol can take the edge off it, then surely it's not musculoskeletal. It's like it must be kind of psychosomatic, because like I've given birth 3 times at home. I know what pain is, and with, you know, each time when you give birth at home, you don't have pain relief. And so I've been with that pain, I've followed that pain through, and it kind of is something that puts you in the moment. You have to be in the moment with pain when you don't have pain relief. So that's what I chose to do with this. But by the end of it, it was like, fuck, it grinds you down, like it really fucking grinds you down. And paracetamol it would interrupt the signal. And from there, sometimes I could get up and it would go, until the next time I got it, a week later. And it's like, there's something more to this, you know, it's like, it's definitely psychosomatic. So I've done a lot of work trying to understand where it's coming from, what it's trying to tell me. And each time it's like, do less, do less, do less, to the point that I've got my art studio down here, so that at least when I'm in pain, if I walk past, I could make a scribble on a piece of paper, but that doesn't actually happen. But it's brought art to the fore for me. It's given me that outlet, because I can't do any physical work, and you know, it's such a stop-start life when you're in chronic pain that it's hard to work at all. And so you just kind of have to surrender everything. But when I feel these pains, it's like I don't just surrender to the pain. In the night, it was like, oh shit, I've got Richard Ashcroft to go to on Friday, and I really want to go to that. Like, I really, really want to go to that with my friend. But I can just feel the pain kind of radiating. And every time I'd wake up, it'd be like, fuck, Richard Ashcroft, I'm not going to be able to go. And it's like trying to balance that mentality with, it might not happen. This time it might not happen. You might, you know, get a minimal pain reaction this time. But ultimately I'm planning for it happening. So I'll go around, change the cat's dirt tray, make sure the floors are clean, make sure everything, well, I won't do any hoovering because that will just antagonize it. Make sure the washing's done out of the washing. You know, as a mum, you just kind of do those things because when I get better, I don't want them all waiting around for me. And my kids are great. They'll do, you know, they'll do their thing. But when I'm ill, I can't be dishing out jobs for people to do. And my younger daughter is great. I'm a reflexologist, and so when I get the pain, she often tries to help me with reflexology. It's like the thing that she knows she can do. And that's wonderful help, but I don't want to burden my kids with it either. It's such a fine balance, isn't it? It's like they know that I'm going to be unwell, they know that I'm going to be in pain, and they'll see that. But I don't want them to feel helpless around that. It's like, it's just something I have to go through, and I will go through it, and I will come out the other side, and next week I'll be bouncing around again fine. But I have to kind of put everything in place because the world doesn't stop turning. And I'm lucky that I've been able to shed my job. You know, I'm not, money is an issue, obviously, but I have no choice. I can't work, I can't do anything right now. So I'm just kind of doing what I can do to get by. And I'm still healing the cancer, so I still have to do all the supplements and everything like that. Even when I'm ill, I cannot skip that because a lot of that is anti-inflammatory anyway. So I need to keep going with the diet. I need to keep going high protein, low carbs, just to make sure my sugar doesn't spike. It's like I can't, you know, hearing it now, hearing myself saying it, it's like, it's very hard to take my foot off the pedal in any way because coming around from that it's like collateral damage. It's like if I can get all this stuff organized beforehand, then there will be some semblance of control, not control, maybe normality when I come back round, when I get better again. So I'm not left with a shitload of stuff that needs doing. And so this is kind of, I don't know if anyone else has this or whether it's just me being a control freak, whether other parents with chronic pain do the same thing. This pain started when I was in Australia traveling, and I was working and picked tomatoes for one day. It was like a 10-hour day or something, on my knees, bending down to pick tomatoes. After that, every evening, particularly when I go to lay down, I could barely breathe. It was like there was something on my chest. It's like it compresses. Everything goes into tight spasm. And in Australia, they took me into hospital. They did every test on me that they possibly could to see what was going on. And eventually, one doctor just went, it's musculoskeletal. And I thought he was so rude. You know, it was like he didn't give a shit. He just said it's musculoskeletal and sent me away. So I went into the pharmacy and bought ibuprofen, Nurofen Plus actually, my first venture into codeine. And they worked. Like they were the best thing to get rid of this pain. And so I continued picking fruit. Like even in the daytime I could pick the fruit, and at night time I'd go back and like struggle to lay down. But again, it was like money was tight. I needed to earn a living and I needed to do this. So as a 25-year-old, I didn't really give a shit about anything, including my body. So I just went ahead and did it. So I spend a lot of time when I'm in illness, with the illness, like meditating basically, trying to surrender as much as I possibly can. And it's tricky. It's tricky. When you're in pain, there's a lot of, for me, a history around pain. Giving my life over to pain is hard because I've had to do it since I was 3. So I know I hold everything in the body, like I know that. And I tried to reduce that by feeling emotions, by being in my body, by doing somatic meditations daily. I was doing one yesterday, and just as I was getting into that completely relaxed state, my body would boom, adrenaline. It's like it struggles to be in that relaxed state. It's like that's not a safe place. Something else that happened yesterday that could justify what's happening today is I was pulling out of a junction and a car started to pull in, and so I had to jam on the brakes, and my body pumped with adrenaline. This had happened, say, a year ago. A guy pulled out on me and smashed into me, and I never spent time with the sensations or kind of calming myself down at that point. It was just a little bump, but that little bump brought a hell of a lot to the surface for me, trauma wise, I think. And so yesterday I felt that exact same kind of thrusting of my neck and back, and so I spent time kind of just, it's okay, you know, allow the feelings to flow, you're safe now, it's okay. And yeah, it took about 5 minutes, but I'm kind of, yeah, just on the cusp of not giving in to the pain, but surrendering to it. But first I need to go and buy a sourdough croissant from town, because I need to eat something nice, and I'll get a latte because I feel like I need some kind of comfort. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I'm going to come home and see what my body's feeling and what it needs. But this is just going out to all those parents that kind of do the same thing that I do, and you make allowances for when you're going to be ill. You make plans so that you're not caught on the back foot when you get better, because it's tricky. Like, life doesn't stop, and your kids still need stuff, and they still make a mess, and it doesn't matter how old they are, they're still not going to be, you know, I'm not house proud by any means. I used to be before the kids came along, and then when kids came along, it's like, fuck, wow. So, you know, it's just kind of a basic semblance of hygiene and carpets being neat. But yeah, that's my life today. I may update. I doubt I'll want to if I get poorly, but maybe, who knows. All right, sending you love.